And this is episode 2 of Slay Season 2. This is Slay episode number 38. And if you don't want to get spoiled, you can go listen to all of Slay Season 1. It is available on any of the podcasting apps. Just search for Scott Sigler Slices. Go back to Season 1 or the beginning of that podcast, and you will find these episodes of Slay. Let's rock and roll. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slay episode number 39. We're going to jump right into it, and hopefully you guys enjoy this story. Previously on Slay, Gramma told Lincoln and the gang of Billy's massive, untapped power, and that a powerful mage named Vestinian wanted to kill Billy and take that power for himself. Gramma revealed that she had kept Billy small and frail so he would avoid getting into fights, as intense, excessive emotion might trigger Billy's latent ability in dangerous ways. Vestinian is also the person responsible for Magda's wounds, both physical and mental. He is the reason she quit the Bastion and her life as a Rixator. He is the reason for the crippling agoraphobia that keeps her trapped inside the old stone church. As Gramma tried to get Billy to come with her so she could train him, Billy grew angry that she had lied to him about who he truly was. As his fury blossomed out of control, his power overwhelmed him. About to burn up from the inside, Billy forced that power out and collapsed as flames filled the nave. And now, episode 39 of Slay. Magda yanked the flaming projection screen to the floor, singeing her fingers and her hands. She waggled them hard to stave off the burning sensation, even as she stomped at the flickering fire. Ariella joined her, stomping as best as she could in her high heels. Dragging through her little body into the fray, barrel rolling across the flames. Where the dog rolled, the fire went out. In seconds, their collective work extinguished the blaze. Smoke curled up from the blackened screen. Lincoln kicked at bits of fire rising up from the ruined lawn chairs. Gramma was on her knees, Billy's head cradled in her lap. Yellow mist seeped from her, crawled up the walls, and wafted along the old wood of the nave's peaked ceiling, protecting them from the ruby-red flames that had burst from Billy's mouth, eyes, and ears. Billy did not move. Magda rushed to Grandma's side. "Is he all right?" "He will be." Gramma wiped sweat from Billy's forehead. "He just needs to cool off." So much for the last of the nave's furniture. Only the beer pong table remained unscathed, probably because Gramma had been standing in front of it. Heat had crisped the carofactors on Billy's hands and fingers. That didn't seem to be a problem, though, as his wounds had mostly healed. Lincoln hopped over, slapping at the smoke rising up from his right boot. "What the fuck was that shit?" He knelt, put a hand on Billy's shoulder. "How is he?" Dragon shot between Magda and Gramma. Dragon shot between Magda and Gramma, bounded onto Billy, and furiously started licking his face. Billy winced, squinted against the surprise assault. Magda gently grabbed Dragon and stood. The pup's long black fur wasn't smoldering or scorched. Being fireproof was one of Dragon's perks. The little dachshund squirmed and kicked, trying to reach out and lick Billy's face some more. What happened?" Billy weakly wiped dog spit from his face. "I was so hot." He still was, at least on the outside, Magda thought. The scrawny boy was no more. Billy was as tall as Link, his body now thick with muscle that strained at the singed Simpsons pajamas she had loaned him. "You got angry," Grandma said to him. "I told you before, that's why I kept you small, so you wouldn't get into fights that might make you lose control of your power, like you just did." What a crock. Billy lost control of his power because he had no idea how much he possessed or how to use it. He should have been trained from a young age. Grandma hadn't done that. She had cheated him out of knowing who he really was. Magda didn't buy Grandma's explanation, and from the expression on Billy's face, neither did he. He reached a hand to Lincoln. Lincoln took it, pulled Billy to his feet. "I'm so sorry," Billy said. "Sorry about the screen and the furniture and stuff. I didn't know I could do any of that. Y'all could have been hurt, or worse. Maybe it's just best if I go with Grandma." Billy looked like a man, sure, but inside, he was still the same scared, confused person he had been only an hour before. "I told you can stay, and I meant it," Lincoln said. "We'll get this figured out, kid." "That's right," Magda said. "We'll help you." Billy met her eyes, stared at her like he couldn't believe what she had said. "Mags, for real? If Vistinian's after me, and I can't control myself, that might bring him here." Which would be the worst thing that Magda could imagine. Since Vistinian's protector had cut her over and over again, this church was the only place she'd felt safe. She would never forget the sensation of the Umatakan's claws sliding down her cheek. If Billy left, there was no threat of Vistinian coming to take his power. If Billy left, Magda wouldn't have to risk facing the man again. And yet, there was something about Billy. Magda had long ago abandoned her Rixator ways and her Rixator oath, but the reason she had taken that oath in the first place was not something she could casually toss aside. She had dedicated her life to protecting people, and Billy needed protecting. "This is your home now, Lopine," Magda said. "It's up to you." Ariella stepped in, slid an arm around Billy's waist, gave him a comforting side hug. "We'll stand by you," she said. "Magda's right. This is your home." Before the fire burst, Ariella had wanted him and Grandma both gone. Why had she changed her mind? Maybe because of Billy's confusion and heartbreaking, transparent vulnerability. "You had it right the first time, Ariella," Grandma said. "You are fools, all four of you." Dragon let out a yip. "All 5 of you," Grandma said. "If my grandson don't get training, he'll blow up again, and next time I won't be here to hold his energy at bay." "I'll train him," Lincoln said. A curl of lemon yellow mist curled up from Grandma's eyes. "He needs training in meshwork," she said. "Not that bullshit, ham-fisted punching and cutting y'all do. Bunch of thugs is what you are. You think teaching him how to use a pointy object to poke holes in people will protect him from Vistinian?" Lincoln forced a smile. "I'll teach him self-control. That's what he needs first and foremost, right? To manage anger and aggression?" If anyone could teach those things, it was Lincoln Franks. He had rage inside of him, untapped depths of violence. But the man spent most of his time closed up like an emotional clam. "You are a piece of shit, Lincoln Franks," Grandma said. "The Bastion ain't perfect, but they try to do good work and protect the most people possible. You kill for money." "You're damn right he does," Ariella said. "And he needs to get back to that job pronto." She tapped the back of her wrist, miming a watch. "Didn't you say you needed to haul ass out of here before Vistinian tracks you here and gets his mitts on Billy?" Grandma's harsh attitude ebbed some. "Yeah, you're right." She nodded. "The more I think about it, Billy's better off without me." She stepped closer to Billy and took his hands. She looked up at the young man. "I did what I had to do to keep you safe. I wish I could stay in Lumencia with you. I wish I could teach you. But the best thing I can do for now is to lure Vestinian far away. I love you, William, baby. Magda knew Billy's world had been turned upside down, and he looked the part. Where are you going to go, Grandma? He said. To your brother's place in Tennessee you told me about? For the first time, Grandma smiled. It changed her face, seemed to change everything about her. I'm afraid that was a lie, too, she said. We don't have family in Tennessee. You're the only family I have, William, baby, and I'm the only family you have. She glanced at Lincoln, at Ariella, at Magda, at Dragon. The only biological family, anyway. Billy let go of Grandma's hands. He took a step back. We don't have family, he said. You lied to me about that, too? Grandma's brief moment of softness dissipated. Her hard-edged scowl returned. Life's a bitch, she said. Get used to people lying to you, William, baby. These well-meaning people here, they'll do it someday, too. Everyone lies. Everyone. She faced Magda. You take care of my grandson, she said. I don't trust Franks as far as I can throw him, but you, I heard about your days with the Bastion. You take care of my grandson, you hear? Magda stroked Dragon's black fur. Yes, ma'am, she said. I'll do my best. Grandma nodded once, let out a little humph as she did. Good. I'll hold you to it. William, baby, I will call you when I'm settled. I don't know when that'll be. You be smart. You be calm. Time for me to go. With that, Grandma walked out of the nave. Magda, Billy, Lincoln, and Ariella stood in silence for a moment. All right, let's get down to business, Ariella said. I'll find someone who can train Billy, maybe. Dragon, fetch my necklace. The dachshund let out a yip, then lurched out of Magda's arms and sprinted out of the nave, her little claws scrabbling against the tile floor. Ariella used the hem of her dress to wipe drool from her turquoise necklace. Can you train a dog to not spit so much? This is disgusting. No, Lincoln said. You can't train a dog to drool less, or a dragon. Just be happy she found it. Grandma had sent Ariella's necklace flying. Lincoln wasn't surprised that Dragon had tracked it down. The dog loved to play fetch. Maybe that was why Dragon had taken to Billy so quickly. Lincoln hadn't played fetch with her in a long, long time. He hadn't paid much attention to her at all, really. He should have. He'd been too busy chasing bounties, or popping pills, or getting high, or drinking whatever rot-gut booze was available. He knew he needed to back off on the various substances, but not now. What was the point? Bills to pay, an agoraphobic roommate, his son trapped on the purgatory known as the Shelf, 2 new housemates, his dad in a nursing home, and now the need to help Billy, and to avoid drawing the attention of Vestinian. Having a few drinks here and there was the least of Lincoln's worries. Ariella slid the necklace over her head. Disgusting, she said. Billy walked into the nave, one hand carrying Ariella's office chair, the other Baphomet's big bounty of binder. Billy walked into the nave, one hand carrying Ariella's office chair, the other Baphomet's big binder of bounties. The black-furred dachshund pranced along at his heels, her little tongue dangling. Stop talking mean about Dragon, he said. You'll make her feel bad. She found your necklace, didn't she? He handed the binder to Ariella. An hour earlier, he would have probably stumbled under the weight of the old steel case rotating chair. Now, he set the heavy thing down as if it weighed no more than the half-melted lawn chairs. The new Billy tried to keep a stiff upper lip. The new Billy tried to keep a stiff upper lip, but he wasn't good at it. Had to be hard to realize everything he had ever known was a lie. "Come on, kid," Lincoln said. "Lighten up. It's always darkest before the dawn, right?" In reply, Billy sat cross-legged on the floor. Or, at least, he tried to. Old Billy had often sat like that, but old Billy had been a foot shorter and some 80 pounds lighter. New Billy opted for sitting with his back to a wall. Dragon ran up onto his shoulders, sprung off, did a circle around his feet, and repeated the process. The pup's energy knew no limit. Magda walked into the nave carrying the rolling stool from her basement workshop. She set it down next to the ruins of the projection screen. "Let's get at it," she said. Let me pause to block a scammer. Sorry, guys. I think we're blocked. Here we go. Real-time fiction. What are you going to do? Go back to Magda. Here we go. Magda walked into the nave carrying the rolling stool from her basement workshop. She set it down next to the ruins of the projection screen. "Let's get at it," she said. Ariella sat in her chair. She crossed her legs and opened the binder made of tanned human skin. Her black stockings and black heels made Lincoln forget what they were about to discuss. "Billy needs a trainer," Ariella said. "I will work on that. For now, though, we have accounts due. Kellius Droman needs to be paid for the security work he will do here. That's not cheap. We need to replace the furniture in the nave. We're behind on contractor payments, and we owe Bingle's triple scale for the cleanup job. First and foremost, though, we need to make a payment of treasure to Callista." Oh, right. That was what they needed to discuss. Keeping Samuel safe on the shelf. Of course, a hot pair of legs should distract Lincoln because he was such an amazing father. "Lincoln saved Callista's ass," Billy said. "Didn't he? Why doesn't she just let his boy go?" New Billy might be bigger than old Billy, but they were both equally naive. "Because Callista is a bitch," Ariella said. "A self-serving, heartless, criminal demon bitch. We found the loophole that means Lincoln isn't a pet assassin anymore. So she's... Shit. We found the loophole that means Lincoln isn't her pet assassin anymore. She's so petty, she won't give him an ounce of the treasure she gets instead." Venom and bile in those words. And not just because Callista hadn't released Sam. Callista had put a contract on Ariella's head. Lincoln still didn't know their backstory. He needed to find out soon. But only after he started to make things right by his son. "I want to go after Teddy Two Fingers," Lincoln said. Someone is kidnapping enlightened kids. We need to stop him." Teddy took Sam. Teddy put Sam on the shelf. Teddy was the reason Lincoln signed an oppressive contract with Callista to keep Sam safe. "I'm down with that plan," Magda said. "If enlightened upper crust like Kellius Droman want to hire bodyguards to protect their kids, taking out the kidnapper will buy us a lot of goodwill." Goodwill for the business, sure, but that wasn't the real reason Magda backed Lincoln's play. Even though she couldn't bring herself to leave the old stone church, she loved Sam and wanted payback as much as Lincoln did. Well, almost as much. "No one knows if it was Two Fingers," Ariella said. "Lincoln, I need you to focus on business, not revenge." He felt a flare of fury. He wanted to tell Ariella it wasn't her call to make. He wanted to scream it at her. Lincoln glanced at Billy, sitting with his back to the wall, his head hung, and a long-haired dachshund using his shoulders like a jungle gym. If the kid had to control himself, Lincoln would do the same. Fine, Lincoln said. Who do you want me to kill next? Because, besides killing, what else was he good for? Ariella flipped open the binder. There's the kabooter in camping, she said. No one's brought it in yet. Word is the tarantula monkey thing protecting it is bad news. So let's wait on that pair. She flipped a page. This is the one I want. She held up the binder for all to see. Lincoln groaned. He hated the undead. The fuck is that? Billy asked. Is that a skeleton with a pimp robe and a dope-ass crown? It's a lich, Ariella said. A lich is a wizard or a mage who uses magic powers to cheat death. Looks like the cover of a rap album done by goth white kids, Billy said. Is that ugly-ass thing here in Lumencia? It's in Virginia, Ariella said. In Lynchburg. A lich in Lynchburg. Of course it was. Liches are tough, Lincoln said. Isn't there anything easier that I can get to cover the next payment to Callista? There are a few decent bounties, Ariella said. Let's see, a mummy in Marietta, a troglodyte in Topeka, and a demon in Dayton. But those don't have the same kind of payout. The Lich's crown alone will cover Callista's next 3 payments. That'll buy us 6 weeks. And the Lich might have gold, which you know we can use. 3 payments. 6 weeks. Lincoln could protect Sam and maybe find some time to hunt down Teddy Two Fingers. Liches use dark, undead mesh. Nasty stuff. He had killed them before, but that was when he had Magda at his side. It was dangerous to fight them alone, but Magda couldn't help him. Ariella had courage, but she wasn't capable of this type of work. And as for Billy, they couldn't risk him losing his temper, possibly letting out a burst of meshwork big enough to put him on the magical radar. Big enough for Vestinian to catch wind. Lincoln would do what needed to be done. All right, I'm in, he said. I'll leave tonight. He looked to Magda. She stood and picked up her stool. I'll prep your armor and weapons, she said. Billy, you want to help? Billy shrugged. Sure, why not? Come on, dragon. That was episode 39 of Slay. We'll be back next week with episode number 40, the Big 4-0, as they say. Until then, take care of yourself, and we'll talk to y'all real soon. Well, that's a problem. I don't think I recorded any of that shit. Oh, yeah, you guys. Good thing Christmas is coming up real soon. Baby girl, come on up. Join me. Ay. Okay, so it looks like that asshole. You know, look at this. That's some crazy spam. I don't know how to get that thing out of there. Let's take a look. That seems to be stuck. The only way around this is if you guys throw in a bunch of chats, we'll get that cleared off the screen. Text me. Now, we're just going to chit-chat. I got one minor thing to cover. Well, it's not minor. It's a new story out today. So that should be pretty fun. Other than that, whoops, holy crap. Let's see, guys. Are you still seeing the chat? Yes, we are seeing the chat. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, Steve, the tarantula monkey thing, it was mentioned in season 1. I didn't make that shit up. I mean, I made it up in season 1, but I didn't make it up here in season 2. Hey, anybody who stuck around, still got a few people here hanging out. Again, if you are watching this on Twitter, they have not connected the chat function just yet where you can respond. You can tweet here or reply here, and I should be able to see it. It's not there yet. I don't have Twitter up, so there's nothing I can do. We're going to move on to Chitty Chat. A had to jump over to the neighbor's house and walk their giant-ass 90-pound dog. His name is Samson. He's a very good boy because the owner has a bit of a migraine. So she'll come up as soon as she can come up. Scrolling that spam, and now that spam is scrolled right out of Dodge. Let's see. You know what? Let me just get to the part we're going to talk about. One little thing to cover. Let's see if this works. We're going to go to the book section. Nope, got to fix that. You guys get to see it in the raw today. No pun intended. Upper right. I got to get this. We have a new Sigler story out today. This story is called Simple Silas. It is part of the Good, the Bad, the Uncanny Tales of a Very Weird West Kindle edition. It is edited by Jonathan Mayberry and edited by Jonathan Mayberry. And it features stories from some just amazing people. Let me read them to you here. Scott Sigler, of course. Josh Mallerman of a Knock on the Cabin guy. James A. Moore, Jeffrey Mayrat, Cullen Brunn, comic book storyteller, Keith R.A. Candido, Jennifer Brody, who's super friggin' cool, a few others, Carrie Harris, Marguerite Reed, Laura Ann Gilman, and Aaron Roseberg. Some of those are reprints. I don't know if they're all reprints, but mine is not. Mine is an original story called Simple Silas. It's great. I think it's super fun. It is a standalone, non-Siglerverse story. And if you guys want to check that out, check that out. But already, this book is #1 new release in fiction anthologies. Hello, everyone. A. Sigler in the house. And my stinking applause doesn't work. Give me a break. Okay. Yay! A's here, everybody. Let's go back to, let's get back to Maine. So that's the only news for today. We've got a good 20 minutes. We'll hang out. We'll chit-chat. Yes, we have sound, Joshua. Yes, Nick, it wasn't your video. It was our video. We were the problem. We were the anchor, as they say. So now we're going to switch over to A's camera, get everything dialed in. Oh, sorry, babe. Hold on. There's a bunch of things you have to do before this show that when you restart, I kind of forgot about. So let's take a look. We'll get A squared away here. Boop, 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 boop. Hello, everyone. Hey, hello from Empty Set Entertainment, otherwise known as the Sigler West Coast fam.
Can you give me?
Oh, fuck yeah. Sorry, dude. You guys can tell I'm rattled. I'm rattled.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Okay.
So we had obviously a rough launch for this cast. It happens sometimes. We don't know why. I know the solution, though.
Are those Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
Oh, snap. You guys, check it out.
I have to hide them. They're Reese's Bats.
Reese's Bats? Oh, shit.
Because
now,
they can't be, like, just out in the kitchen. You guys might know.
Oops. In no world does this resemble a bat. This looks like a piece of poop, but I'm going to eat it.
Do you want to fix that camera?
Why?
Go back to that?
Oh, yeah,
It's weird.
No, you got it.
I don't know how to say. See what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So
back there.
In our house, you guys already know this. Scott works so hard. Our house in the middle of the and a lot, and is also very ADHD, he might have mentioned. So he loves a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, as you well know.
Yeah.
And I have to hide them in various places in the house so that he doesn't find them and eat them all at once. And that means you get bats when you had a bad day.
Thank you. You know what? Some people may think this is an excuse, and if you think so, that's okay. I don't mind. But one part of ADHD that impacts some people is utter lack of impulse control and self-control. If you put 2 bags of these goddamn things in front of me, I'll eat them all. I will just eat them all, and the whole time be like, I don't want any more of these, which is a lie, because I want all of them, and I eat all of them.
Technically, I think both things are true. He wants to be able to eat them all, but then he gets kind of overwhelmed. Steve wins the day.
Steve says, on today's episode, Scott eats poop. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. That's wonderful. I appreciate that a lot.
we had such a wonderful little holiday celebration. It wasn't technically a holiday celebration this past weekend, but
Thank you, honey.
of course.
You know what? First of all, cheers to all you motherfuckers who hung out with us.
Yeah, thanks for staying the course.
I wanted to make sure I read the episode so that we would have an episode to put in the content at the end.
I'm so proud.
Looks like I didn't record it. I looked and I thought I was recording. Maybe not so much. So we'll see how that goes. I may have to redo it again. What are you going to do? It's the way
Tomorrow's a recording
When
day.
it's a technology disaster, let's go all the way. Let's go all the way.
Tomorrow is a recording day anyhow. It's all right.
Technology meets you all the way.
Technology.
Yeah, Reese's turds. You guys can make fun of my Reese's Pieces all you goddamn want. I'm going to eat all of these.
I mean, they did look like poops, but that's
They
okay.
do like a lot. They look a lot like dog poops.
So
Jude Stetson now.
Yeah. So last time we were on the show, we told you all about. We got this gorgeous 10-day trip back to the East Coast where we seemingly did not get COVID. Amazingly,
Brolo took us to a football game. It was great.
Oh my God, yeah. So my
Thank you,
brother
Brolo.
and sister-in-law. So my brother, if you don't know, is Jude C. Stenson in the Facebook chat room, and Lauren Bender is my gorgeous sister-in-law, and they took us to see the Army-Navy game at Gillette Stadium a couple of weeks ago, and it was epic. And then we came home. Yeah, you can show that off while I talk. Then we came home, and we had a very busy week shipping out all the rest of the... he's making all the noise on the microphone. Shipping out all the rest of the Orange Friday sale things. And then this past weekend, we had this crazy, crazy time of it. The iceberg came down to look at all of our audio setups and make sure that Steve and I are ready to go as we move into re-recording the Generations trilogy. That's a project that Steve and I are going to do together mostly, and then hopefully do other projects as well. And then we had con colleagues, I'll say, show up on Saturday night. If you don't know Dr. Rachel Burks, she is Dr. Rubidium. On many Rubidium.
Yep, Dr. Rubidium.
Yeah, on social media. She's a forensic scientist. Scott and Ray often do panels at conventions about how to get away with murder because she's a forensic chemist, and he, of course, writes horror stories. They share a huge, huge love of Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, I love that show.
And they both think that Jessica Fletcher is a serial killer.
For sure. Also, when I told you guys, if you guys were earlier when I said my phone was just randomly texting everything I said to someone, it's Dr. Burks.
Oh, good.
So I'm holding my thumb on the delete button to get rid of approximately 10,000 words worth of work. Apparently, Dr. Benny and I are now accidentally in a book club, and you all should feel free to join. I'll tell you the book and the author as soon as this. I'm still deleting.
Don McRoberts, absolutely. That was ASMR Reese's. That's a good way to say that, even though he was right on the microphone. So we had this awesome weekend. So Friday night, we had friends in town, junkies in town. Some of you know from Zieglerfest. Steve Voodoo Bickle and his fantastic partner, Meg, were here. We had all the local junkies. Well, not all but Joshua, who had just joined the chat.
Joshua's also always beating on camera. ABOC. Yeah. Thank you, buddy.
Joshua, who just joined the chat on YouTube, he and his gorgeous wife were here as well on Saturday. We had a lovely time. And my goodness, can't tell you how many times the two of us have tested for COVID in the last 2 weeks because, of course, we also have holiday celebrations coming up. And strangely, we're both a little under the weather. We're not terribly so, but COVID negative this whole time. We do have a couple of folks that we saw in the last month test positive for COVID, but they're doing well right now.
And this is the book that we ran. We were watching, she came over to the Lions game to walk you through this. We're Lions game. I had 2 PhDs in my house at the same time.
Yes.
I was pretty fucking impressed.
Yeah.
I was pretty fucking, I'm not going to lie. I'm very impressed by a PhD, in case you guys haven't noticed. And we started talking about the author, Victor Laval, who we've all read the Ballad of, she and I, the people had read the Ballad of Black Tom. She said she's going to read a new one. This book is called Lone Women.
Mm-hmm. And are you reading that now?
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
I'm getting in on that.
She said, I think I'm going to get this book, Lone Women. And then I thought Victor Laval had been in an anthology with me, which is this incredibly fucking stunningly gorgeous Weird Tales.
It just came out.
100 Years of Weird Tales.
It's so cool. I love
It's
the
one
foil
of the best
so
designed
much.
books I've ever seen. It's so gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
It's chock full of stuff inside. So I'm like, I think I was just in an anthology with that dude. And I looked and I missed him here. So then I started thinking about it, and so I looked online. I saw, and I texted her today. I'm like, was it what? Yes, he's in that anthology. And I said, she's like, I'm going to start this book. The
Lone Women.
The Lone Women. And I just stopped listening to an audiobook. I'm like, okay, I'm done. That one's not for me. So I have not listened to anything for 2 days, which is audiobook wise, which is rare.
I mean,
so I'm
that's
like,
weird.
I'll snag it right now. I just have had shit to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We've been quite busy.
So I had a completely, for once in a lifetime, I had a completely blank slate on the audiobook thing, blank slate. So I'm like, great, I'll grab it, and I'm already into it, and he's good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, he's good.
I'm getting in on that because it was such a fun. Okay, so we had a great Friday night. We had a great Saturday. I also got to see my dear local best girlfriends in San Diego, and I should have shown. I'll show you.
We'll do it next week.
I should have showed you the hat, but I'll show it to you next week.
Yes.
We were out at a tea room, and one of my girlfriends brought us Christmas tree hats. They were ridiculous and fabulous. I'll show them to you next week.
Oh, Dr. Ronnie Seasonhouse. Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD, is on a cruise, so he's not with us. But Dr. Ronnie, PhD, is in the chat room. He is on the Twitch. Everybody, you know what? Quick shout outs. Cheers to people who have put in the work, put in the wrench time to get a PhD.
Expert.
We love experts in this house.
Absolutely love an information
Particularly
expert.
love science PhDs. That's just our thing.
It's
but
true.
all PhDs. Although you know what? Sorry, finish your story, then we'll talk about this. We got to talk about this. Go for it.
And then it was convoluted. And I have to say that my dad is in the hospital right now. He is doing okay, and we hope he's coming home for Christmas. But he has a couple things that he's, they're trying to get him a little bit healthier. And my brother and sister-in-law, fabulous that they are coming out tomorrow. So we've had a lot going on this whole week. But it was a very emotionally charged weekend. And I got to have all sorts of support and friends. The Iceberg was here on Friday and Sunday and hung out for football, and Voodoo and his partner were here for football on Sunday, and we had all those people on Friday night, and I felt really Christmassy and really holiday-y and really supported in this sort of rough time for my family, and I'm so grateful for the junkie community.
We had a great weekend. Although I will say, as A and I are getting a little bit older, we used to do 5, 6, 7 cons a year plus the Sigler Fest. And now we're like, we just traveled for 10 days, saw a bunch of people, went to 4 different cities, came home, had people here, different sets of people here 3 days in a row.
True.
And the next day, Sunday we watched football. And then Monday we were just like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. I cannot possibly do another goddamn thing. And we just sort of laid around.
Well,
like puddles of poop.
I love that you say that. Scott did his normal work day, and I took the day off, and I was quite, like, I had kind of a lot of stuffiness and whatever, and so I did pretty much take the whole day off. I did just shipping and customer service correspondence and nothing else that day, and pretty much spent the whole day in bed. But today is a new day, so hopefully you guys are having spectacular Christmases yourself. We also have a handful of more Christmassy things. Like I said, my brother and sister-in-law are coming tomorrow. How dare me. Great hanging with you too, Steve. It was super fun.
We may have just lost, on our end, we lost all the chat. You guys probably didn't lose all of your chat. This is just a giant shit show. We have been trying, the machine we use, I'm going to show you guys. I won't show you. The machine we've been using, we saved up our pennies back in 2017 to get this iMac Pro because it solved an enormous amount of problems for us. We could edit video on it. It was state of the art at the time. We could edit audio on it, which is great for podcasting, for audiobooks. And then as a side note, it would do all of my music editing too. And it's got like 16 cores in it, which is a computer term. I know a lot about computers. But it is now 6 years old, and it's starting to get a little bit long in the tooth. And let's see if chat's still working here.
Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah, guys, throw us a couple chats, our chat thing. And now I've done everything I could to keep this machine going. I was going to try and get 10 years out of it, which is ludicrous. It doesn't work that way anymore. Test the chat right there, babe. So I'm going to have to quit it.
Oh, there it is.
It's working? Thank you. It's working. So some of the problems we are occurring right now are because of this older machine. So we're going to have to upgrade to a Mac Studio at some point. which I don't want to do because there's several categories where Mac Studio is not as good as this 6-year-old machine. But what are you going to do? But I'm largely making excuses why we're having such technical issues.
Well,
right now.
and I don't think he saw that. There's an enormous storm coming into Southern California right now, and I think that might be part of it.
Do you think so? No, I don't think that affects us here, though, dog.
We're in Southern California, and remember, I just went out to walk a neighbor dog right before the show started, and it absolutely poured on me.
Oh, are you saying that you are the storm? Is that what you were saying?
I was not, but I
Test
am
that.
the storm.
Thank you, Dr. Ronnie C. Dr. Ronnie C comes to a lot of the local events. Super good cat, and knows a lot about biology. And bugs and stuff.
Oh,
and genetics
very cool,
and stuff.
Very cool.
No, genetics and stuff. I got you. So what else, babe?
I will say, if any of you guys... Hey, thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Jude. Thank you, Dr. Ronnie C. I will also say, if any of you are listening right now, or any of you are watching this in the in-between time, today, right now, it is 7 p.m. on December 20th in San Diego, California. And I cannot guarantee that you would get anything if you haven't already ordered it from the store. That said, we're super grateful. We had a very great Black Friday sale. We shipped out everything. It went out yesterday, was the last one that went out. If any of you guys have ordered already and it was a gift and it doesn't show up in time, I want you to email me. If it's Friday or if it's Saturday and you know you're not going to get it on Sunday, email me and let me know, and we'll see what we can do so that whoever is the recipient of that gift doesn't have nothing on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go over the basics. First of all, you guys are probably all on this. Let's go home. You're probably all doing it. You're on the text chat already. We sent an alert for this. We sent an alert for everything now. Text SIG-TEXT to 855-955-5095. If you haven't, you get us a couple texts, 1 or 2 a week. That make you laugh? Oh.
Chris did.
Chris says, 10 years out of a computer, do you still drive a Studebaker? Bro, if I could drive a Studebaker, I would drive a goddamn Studebaker. And then the newsletter, we're going to start, here's, all right, time for real talk. Let's have real talk. Let's have real talk, ladies and gentlemen.
Do I have to do a face or anything?
Yeah, you got to have a real talk face. Here's mine. Ready? Wait, I got to get my, who's that douche who got fired from Fox News?
Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, I got to work on my Tucker Carlson face. That's not good. I got to get more crease wrinkle going in here. My dumb look. The real.
You need to stop Botox.
I forgot what the real talk was. What were we talking about just now?
I don't know.
God damn it!
I think it was the release schedule, right?
Well, let's go to the release schedule. And if it suddenly occurs to me what was so serious, I had to stop and make faces for all y'all. I will do that. On December 17th, Sunday, Slay, episode 38 was in the feed. It's episode 38. It is season 2, episode 1. We're just kind of getting rid of the season 2, episode 1 business. We'll let you know what season it is. We'll let you know when the season finale is coming up. But it's going to be one continuous stream because that is what the Utes have told us to do. On December 26th, we'll be right back here for a live read of Slay, episode 40. Tonight was episode 39. We'll get all of the technical issues ironed out. You have my word. I will sacrifice a goat. And then, of course, the Junkie Meetup is coming up.
The happy hour.
Junkie Happy Hour. Junkie Happy Hour. It's coming up January 6th, which is a Saturday.
It is from 4 to 11 p.m. California time. Our good friend who was here last weekend, Steve Rickyberg, who's in the chat room on Facebook, he hosts a happy hour that lasts many, many hours so that people all over the world can join.
Yep.
I do think I'll probably stop in that one, but Scott is always rehearsing on Saturday night, so he can't.
All right. And then let's see. Benjamin Eckerson says...
The lights just flashed, so it might be the storm.
Okay. Happy Solstice Eve. You know what, you guys? This is when you have a significant other who loves you very, very much. Sometimes they make up lies to make you feel better. So
Dude,
yes,
I got rained on.
It was the storm. It was the storm is the reason that everything went to shit tonight.
We got several news alerts on our...
You're the sweetest thing. It has nothing to do with how I fucked up. I literally tried to adjust the fan speed. No, I'm sorry. It's the storm. She's right. It's the goddamn storm.
Wait, I didn't know anything about a fan.
Fucking storms. Fuck you, nature. Fuck you.
Fuck you, nature.
Fuck you, nature. Fuck you. All right, so that is that. Oh, and one other thing is we are still going to strive to have the Slay audiobook and ebook out for you. on Happy Valentine's Sleigh, which is February 14th. It is starting to look like that might not happen. We're trying to adjust. A couple things. I fall a little behind, and we've got some other technical difficulties and business issues going on. So we'll do the best we can. If we can't get it out then, we will have it out on April 1st, which is, of course, Sigler Ascension Day. So one way or another, you guys are going to have something fun, and just giving you a heads up on that. And I think that is about it, sweets.
Devin from
from
what
X-Works.
used to be Twitter and is now...
Devin! What up, Devin? Sorry, baby, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I got excited.
That's all right. You got excited. So you're a brave soul, Devin.
No, I can't. But here, okay, I can see Devin's chat. You can see Devin right there with the X symbol, but I can't.
Doesn't
I
allow
can't
us.
reply to him directly.
So Devin, we appreciate you joining us. Is what we're trying to say right here.
Devin, you rock. Join us next week. And for those of you who happen to be watching on Twitter, which right now is Devin, we also do this shit at Facebook.com/Scott Sigler.
Listen.
Twitch.tv/Scott Sigler.
Dr. Ronnie C. He says the same thing I just said. He's in Oceanside or somewhere up there, and he says we got a regular storm of the century brewing here.
And YouTube.com/Scott Sigler. Storm of the Century did all the technical issues. It wasn't my fault. Listen,
I have told you guys on this show before that I am part of my HOA, and we have talked so much about the storms in this next 2 days in our HOA.
Devin, I'm very glad you listened to Nocturnal. Devin, I can't respond to you, but did you get the Crypt yet? Did you listen to book 1 of the 5-book Crypt series called The Crypt Shakedown? If you love Nocturnal, you will probably cream your jeans over the Crypt. Now, I know that's not a popular thing to say. I know I'm not supposed to say my books will make you cream your jeans, but they pretty much will. I mean, let's be honest. You told me to stop saying girthy, so this is my new version.
Oh, I was trying to figure out why you couldn't say that. Yeah. I see what you're saying. That's fair. It's fine, though. It's a very, very, very great book.
All right. I was very late, but it is past our shutdown time, so we're going to go ahead and shut this down. Is there anything else anything urgent we need to cover?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. You got like an eye twitch thing. Are you
it's
winking at me or is it an eye twitch?
It's an eye twitch.
I would assume you would have gone the non-camera side. She's like, I'm like, is there anything else? She goes, no, I think.
No, my eye is twitching.
I think we're fine. I'm like, fuck. I don't know. This is like,
I don't know why my
know
eye
what your
is
spouse
twitching.
is saying thing, or she actually has dry eyes. I can't tell the difference. What's going on?
I also don't know why my eye is twitching. I think there might be something in it. So good looking out, pointing it out. Though,
yeah, to everyone in the
100
world.
times.
To everyone in the world. Hey, is there a secret thing you're trying to tell me right now?
No.
In front of all these lovely people?
I might be having a stroke, though. I don't know. Something.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out. Again, appreciate you guys coming back after all the technical difficulties.
We will
It's
be
great.
back on Boxing Day. If you want to share anything spectacular that happened to you on Christmas or in the run-up to Christmas and you want to send it to info@emptyset.com, we have a live read.
Yeah.
But then we're just going to be Christmassy and wonderful.
And frankly, for those of you who are still bitter about the results of the War 1812, I know I am. Boxing Day is December 27th. Boxing Day is this Canadian
6th.
holiday. What's that?
6th.
December 26th. As I said, no, it'd be December 27th. Today's the 20th.
Boxing Day is 100% December 26th.
We'll be back December 27th. Also, we are still 10-2 as a country in wars, and we're not counting Boxing Day. And that is it. Ready? Ready to tap on out?
But no, Devin, just keep learning. You have so much to experience. It's going to be so wonderful. If you love Nocturnal, you're going to love so many more Sigler books. It's going to be great.
Yeah, Devin, if that's your first one, buddy, listen, you are in for, number 1, a lot of treats. Number 2, get that goddamn wallet out, son, because I write a lot of fucking smoking shit. And it adds up. It adds up.
And listen, we're coming back on Boxing Day. So we want to tell you, let's go there. The day after Boxing Day. So we want to say, we are so grateful that we have you guys. We were so grateful over the last few years to have this time with you to commune in a virtual social way. We continue it because we hear a lot from you guys about how important it is. And so we're not going to have a Christmas thing with you, but we are going to have a day after or 2 days after Christmas thing with you. And I cannot wait to hang out with you and hear how wonderful or how exciting, how wonderful your holidays were, how excited you are for next year, all that stuff. So we're going to do a little bit of a throwback, I think, to the former Sigler in Place. If you have things you want to celebrate, we don't do this anymore normally, but we'll do it the next Sigler in Place. If
Sure,
you
why
want to
not?
celebrate whatever, if something very spectacular has happened to you and you want to manifest something for next year, email info@emptyset. You can send pictures, you can send a 30-second or less video, whatever you want. And then info@emptyset. And we're just going to have a lovely holiday, probably mulled wine kind of a day, sort of a thing.
Devin has heard them all. Devin is no spring chicken. Devin knows what the fuck is up. So there you go. All right, great. Good?
Yeah.
Good to go? Good to go solo. All right, we will be back on Wednesday, December 27th for Slay episode number 39. Until then, stay smart.
Stay science.
And for the love science, stay informed, which includes following the reports about poop water. There's a lot of COVID and flu in the poop water. What that means is, for those who haven't read Pandemic, there are scientists, PhDs, if you will, who track viral remnants. Ronnie Seacombe, feel free to chat here. Who track disease stuff in the sewer water system, and COVID's going up, flu's going up, RSV's going up. So you know what? Just take care of your business. Take care of your business.
And I'll say two more things. One, my brother says, sorry to be selfish, but I get Christmas with my baby
That's
sis.
right.
And that's not selfish. That's fucking fantastic. I can't wait to see you tomorrow morning. And secondarily, I will also mention, he mentioned, yes, it's if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, protect yourself from every respiratory illness you can. It's time. And if you are a dog owner in North America or the Northern Hemisphere, but I think mostly North America, there is a respiratory virus for pups that you should look into, because you maybe shouldn't go to a dog park. You maybe shouldn't go to a groomer. You maybe shouldn't board your dogs if you can help it. So all those things, check those out. Stay safe, stay science, stay informed. We love you to death. We're super grateful for you.